Primary 1, it's tricky words time today. We've put together some games to practice those tricky words of ours. The first thing to do is to practice by going through your tricky words. You can do this by going through your tricky words cards or by watching the video of me holding up the cards with Edward Bear so you can help him to remember his tricky words, or you can watch the tricky words song, which has got a lot of our great tricky words in it too. Now that we're all warmed up, it's time to get started with our games. These games help us to practice reading and writing our tricky words to help us learn those tricky spellings and get quicker at recognising them. It's quite a strange collection of objects we need for our games today, but hopefully all will become clear in just a moment. And there'll be lots of alternative things that you can use for these, depending on what game you want to play. Okay, our first activity is tricky word bowling. And we have used socks as skittles, but there might be other things at home. Maybe you've got some bottles that you could use that are in the recycling, or toilet rolls would be perfect for this. But socks is something that we've got quite a lot of pairs of. Next, we need to balance our tricky words on our socks. So take your tricky word cards and lean one against each of your skittles. Okay, I have balanced my tricky words against my skittles and I am ready to play. I have chosen the tricky words that I find most difficult and I need to practice and put those ones on my socks. But you might want to play this game with all your tricky words and that's fine too. Okay, and then next what we have to do is step back. I would say take at least 3 big steps back to start with and then challenge yourself by going further each time. I am using another small rolled up ball of socks as my ball, but you might have a ball and you could roll it, and I am going to see how many I can knock down. Ready, steady, go! Just one for me this time. Let's go and see what I knocked over. When we get there, we need to read the word was. And then I'm going to take it back to my board and write it down. And what we do for this part of the game is called read, write and check. So first of all, we read our tricky word. Then we hide it and we write it. Now was, I know it starts with a W, but then it's not an O because it's a tricky word. So I'm going to go for a, was, then it'll be a Z at the end, but I'm pretty sure I saw S. Let me check. So I can give myself a tick and keep a point. Okay, time to go again. Okay, after every turn, put the skittles back up so that you're ready to play again. Let's see if I can beat my score from last time. Ready? Throw. Nope, still one. Let's go and see which word I knocked over. Can you read it? Well done, is. So then I would take it back and do my read, write and check again. Okay, let's go on to looking at the next game. This activity is just a mini version of the bowling and it's a way to really focus in on some key tricky words, or this can be used for sounds too that we just really want to practice. And this one, we say what we're going to aim for by reading the word and then we throw to show that we're reading the right one. So my trickiest word is want. So I'm going to aim now and see if I can knock it down. Okay, let's go. Oh, hooray! Want. For this next one, again, it's another throwing activity and all you need is, I've chosen a muffin tin, but anything that's got little pockets that things can land in, and then something small that you can throw. So Miss Conry's favourite is pasta, so I've chosen pasta for today. We'll start with 1 piece each and then we're going to need 2 in a little bit. Our first job is to throw the pasta into one of the holes and then we're going to read the tricky word and use it in a sentence of our own. So let's see where I land first. Was. It was snowing last night. It was very exciting. Can you think of a tricky word sentence with was? Maybe you could tell it to someone at home just now, or say it aloud. Okay, when you've done it a few times with 1 piece of pasta, try it with 2. Ready? Okay. was and to. So now the challenge is, can you put the words together in a sentence? I was going to eat a banana, but then I decided to have an apple instead. There was actually an extra tricky word in there too. Did you spot it? We had I, was and to. So maybe if you really want to challenge yourself in the end, you could throw 3 things and see if you can make a triple tricky word sentence. That would be amazing. Love to hear some of the sentences you come up with. For this final activity, you need a 1-minute timer or a grown-up who can time you your tricky words and then something that you can write them on. And this is one we do quite a lot in school, but it's just another great way to practice writing the tricky words. So you have to choose the tricky word and see how many times you can write it in 1 minute. Let's see how I get on. When you've finished and the timer goes, it's then your job to count up how many you've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then I can practice writing my numbers at the bottom. It will be interesting to see if some words you get a higher score for. Why do you think that is? I have a feeling that if we wrote the word I, we would get a lot more than if we were writing the word want. I hope you like these games and you can choose which ones are going to be the best ones for you to practice your tricky words.